Hello again, this is the third instructional video on the data entry for planning units. This is long range, 5 to 20 year speculative data on residential and non-residential development occurring on a planning region resolution. So we're in Apex now, and as you may know, Apex Friendship High School is opening in the fall of 2015. We all know that new schools tend to generate residential growth. So we're going to consider a very large planning unit right here, AP 0269.0. So as you can see, it's a big one. It's 637 acres, and of that, according to the data we have right now, 464 of it is already residential developed. Looks like large lots, maybe single residences on large lots. There are some unknown acres. It again is ORAD's responsibility to do as much as we can to clear up all of the unknown acreage in the county. So that is a short-term data entry process. If there is known development occurring in these, we would appreciate the planner's input on that. But again, it's our responsibility to try to calculate what that unknown acreage is and what its use is supposed to be. So what we're going to do here is, out of these 463.75 developed residential acres, we have some knowledge of a residential subdivision occurring in this area right here. And just a quick estimate, we're not going to get real crazy with the decimals here. That's about 101. Let's say that's 100 acres here. This parcel is about 50 acres, so we got 150 so far. And this one is 27 acres. So adding it all together, that's 177. And that's going to be our estimate for a residential development subdivision occurring in this area here. So what we'll need to do, since that is currently coded as residential developed, we need to subtract off 177 acres from residential developed and add it to residential available, provided these are not already being double counted. We'll assume they're not. There's ways of calculating that too. But anyway, these are estimates, and bringing in the calculator, we've got 636. Let's say I'm sorry, that's incorrect. We have 463.758 residential developed acres. We want to take away 177, leaving behind 286. That's the big number that we're looking for. So I'm in edit mode again. 286. And I just took away 177 acres from residential developed, and I need to add it to residential available. So bringing in the calculator again, we've got 177 adding to 83 point whatever, doesn't matter, gives us 260. So this 83 right here changes to 260. And once again, I will strongly recommend using whole numbers, round numbers for these calculations. These are estimates anyways. This is speculative data. So we did use the parcels to help us guide those estimates. But when you're actually doing the acreage shift, the more round numbers you can use, the easier it is. So moving on, we've calculated this profile as rural residential, 57 units in a whole bunch of residential developed acres. So it's currently rural residential. Let's suppose that we know that this profile is going to be a medium. So they're a lot more dense than what we're seeing today. So it's a medium density subdivision, medium according to the ORAD density matrix. Once again, build out begin. is recalculated by ORED when we get all of the data in. There's no reason to touch that one. And let's suppose that we are speculating here. So let's suppose that this particular subdivision might begin in 2018. The school opens in 2015, so this is 3 years after the school. And this is a fairly large one, so let's say it ends in 2022. Again, these are estimates of what we think might happen in this new subdivision. So the build out on the end is once again the total the total residential acreage, how much of that is actually capable of generating students. This means you are subtracting out well lots, homeowners' common areas, right-of-ways for streets, and for us, we're going to use an estimate of 0.95. SGP is not a field to edit, no reason to edit that. And we will enter a comment just so we can keep track of where we are. Edited by Apex. I'm going to make another comment here. Suppose that we have some knowledge that we may be looking at multifamily units here. Just the comment is enough to ring a bell in the future. And if we see some changes here in future updates, this may be some place where we would want to go back and look and see if our densities and our build-outs are in line. So there's another example. That's all there is to it. We've kept these fairly simple, but the main idea is the transfer of acreage. Here we have 3.4 non-residential acres in this big planning unit, and maybe that's a little bit small. Maybe there's a commercial development that's happening in this unknown area. So we would add these 86 unknown acres into the non-residential acres very easily. Changing this to 0 point whatever, and then adding that 86 to non-residential. Done. So now we have a total of almost 90 acres non-residential commercial development off of Old 1, it looks like here. So again, that's the process. I'd be glad to furnish more examples if that's necessary, but this should be in line and parallel to the documentation that you're receiving on January 12th. And hopefully this will answer some of the questions. If not, you're always free to give me a call or somebody else here at ORED. My number is 919-515-8717, and everybody has my email, so that's another way to do it. We're perfectly happy to do on-site visits and walk through some examples with you at your office as well. So once again, ORED thanks you, and Wake County Public Schools thanks you for your efforts here, and good luck and Happy New Year. Thanks.